Hello everyone. Today we will be learning about SOH CAH TOA. Now, SOH CAH TOA is used to assist us in memorizing the three main trigonometrical identities. They are sine, cosine, and tangent. Now, SOH CAH TOA is really an abbreviation. So if I let theta be my angle, then SO, which is SOH, stands for sine of an angle is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse. Now, opposite and hypotenuse are words taken from the right angle triangle, and SOH CAH TOA only works for right angle triangles. So if I have a right angle triangle, not drawn to scale, of course, the opposite to the right angle is always my hypotenuse. It's always the longest side. Now, if I have an angle here, the side that is opposite to that angle is referred to as the opposite. And then the side that is beside the angle is referred to as the adjacent side. If I have the angle at another location, up top instead, this side will be referred to as the opposite, and this side beside it will be referred to as the adjacent. The longest side is always the hypotenuse, and that is always opposite to the 90-degree angle. So let's continue with what these abbreviations mean. Now, SOH, we would have covered that one already, says that sine of an angle is equal to the opposite side over the hypotenuse. CAH, or CAH, tells me that the cosine of an angle is equal to the adjacent side over the hypotenuse. So as you can clearly see, the A and the H, the O and the H. So the final one would be tangent. That one tells me that TOA stands for tan of an angle being equal to the opposite over the adjacent. Jump straight into the examples. So I first have my hypotenuse, which is directly opposite to my 90-degree angle, and it has a measure of 10. Now, I also have myself an angle of 30, and opposite to the angle, the length is not given, and that's okay. But I also have my adjacent being missing. So we're looking for x, we're looking for the adjacent side. So I have the adjacent side, and I have my hypotenuse. Now, if I have an adjacent, that's an A, and a hypotenuse, that's with H, then I will have to use CAH because I have the adjacent and I have the hypotenuse. So how do I use this? I know that cosine of the angle, which is cosine of 30, is equal to the adjacent, which is x, over the hypotenuse of 10. And my goal here is to find what x is. So in order to find x, I just have to multiply both sides by 10. So x would have been equal to 10 times cosine of 30. And I'll just punch this all in on my calculator. When you're doing these questions, your calculator must be in degrees. So I have 10 times the cosine of 30. My answer for x is 8.66. All right. So for this example, I am presented with another right angle triangle with an angle of 45 degrees. Now, directly opposite to that angle is an 8. So we know that this is the opposite side that is presented to us. And down here, adjacent to the angle, I have an X. So I have the opposite and I have the adjacent. So I will pull for TOA. That tells me that tan of whatever my angle is, which is 45. So tan of 45 is equal to the opposite, which is 8, over the adjacent of X. And at this time, we only have to go ahead and solve for X. Now we know that tan of 45 is equal to 1. So essentially, I have 1 is equal to 8 over X. If I go ahead and I multiply both sides by X, I will get X is equal to 8. For this particular example, what I have opposite to my angle is an X, all right? So opposite to my angle is an X, so I'm presented with an opposite side and a hypotenuse. So I have O and H, so that is sine. So sine of my angle, which is 20, is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse. If I go ahead and I find what sine 20 rather is, I will get 0.342 and it goes on. So that is equal to X over 13. I will now multiply both sides by 13 to get X is equal to 4.45. And this is just rounded because on my calculator, I have 4.446. Okay, so that is it for this portion of the video. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Also, check the description box for more information. There is a second part of the video that is posted that will show you how to find the missing angles when you are presented with the sides. So these are the questions that we will be solving in the next video. So look out for that.